Today from TacKnives, we have two sweet budget-friendly clones of the Halo 5 series without safety and the Halo 6 series with safety, originally developed by Microtech, that I've nicknamed the Equalizer. It just sounds more badass. Now, unfortunately, TacKnives discontinued their clones, but do plan on bringing back the extra-large single-action OTF with their own designs, but with no official date as it's still in development. And oddly enough, Microtech has also discontinued their Halo series, so the only way to get your hands on an original or a clone is through secondhand. So on to the specs and review. The Series 6 clone weighs in at 5.1 ounces, and the Series 5 weighs in at 5.3 ounces. Both were available in a satin blade finish, but I just couldn't resist sanding a mirror finish on the Series 6. The aesthetic complements the silver accents really nicely. Both have a Tonto blade shape, and the spine thickness on the Series 6 is 4.2 millimeters, and its blade thickness is 1 millimeter, and the spine thickness on the Series 5 is 4.7 millimeters, and its blade thickness is 1.6 millimeters. The knife type for both is single action. This means it has to be reset manually by what's called a charging handle. Now, the charging handle on the Series 5 is not as ergonomic / convenient as the Series 6 is. The levers at the base just make it smoother to retract the blade, giving your fingers something to grip onto. The body / handle material is 6061 T6 aluminum for both. The body design is overall very sleek, so it doesn't provide any added grip, and the jipping on the sides is overall for looks more or less. It's not really grippy. So on to measurements. The closed length is just a little over 6 inches. The blade length is 4 inches, and the overall length is 10.5 inches. And as you'll see, the measurements are exactly the same on the other one as well. The feature on the Clone 6 is a nice touch. It can prevent accidental deployment from anything that might depress the button if you choose to carry it loose in the pockets. The Clone 5 doesn't have a safety feature, but it does require some pressure, and the button does have to travel a bit of depth before it deploys, though it's still in the realm of possibility that whatever else is in your pocket could depress the button. Anyways, moving on to the cardboard cutting test, which will demonstrate the blade's edge retention and cutting capabilities. I spent about 15 minutes cutting cardboard, but luckily for you guys I sped it up, so you only have about 2 minutes to watch. The blade material is either D2 or 154 cm and has great edge retention and is easily maintained with a strop or ceramic rod and is not too difficult to sharpen. The grind, if I'm not mistaken, is a hollow grind, which doesn't make it the best choice for cutting down boxes. The geometry of the grind does provide a nice thin edge, but it's more suited for slice cutting as it tends to drag with deeper cuts, since the blade thickens dramatically from the cutting edge to the spine versus a flat or convex grind. And since the drag is creating resistance, my hand started to fatigue after 7 minutes. Again, the edge retention is great, but the hollow grind just does not lend to processing cardboard. Next up is the pressure and force resistance test. It demonstrates the durability and reliability. And I have to say it holds up really well. I'm using a significant amount of force, and so far it hasn't collapsed. But OTFs are not meant to be abused by stabbing hard targets like wood or soft steel, like you see in cold steel advertisements. But you should have no problem stabbing cardboard, fruit, or meat of that nature. The sale price for the clones were $120 in comparison to Microtech for $650. The major difference between them is going to be the quality and blade steel. Microtech uses an M390, which is a lot better than D2 or 154 cm, and tolerance and blade play is also going to be a big difference. My favorite is definitely the Halo 6 clone. The black and satin contrast adds a cool factor in a way that's really reminiscent to the action hero John Wick. Well, that about wraps it up. I'll catch you guys later.